Hey guys, how y'all doing? Um, this week I wanted to give some pretty general thoughts on the subject of artificial intelligence, AI, and education. This is something that has to do with the class broadly, not this week in particular, at least not any more so than any other weeks that we've had. So, what's AI? I'm sure you guys have been thinking a lot about this too. And as educators, we see a lot of things changing, and we have to consider technologies, what's at stake as new technologies continue to be developed and people integrate them into their daily practices. I like to think of AI like fancy Google. It's similar in certain ways to a search engine, it's just more sophisticated. And depending on what software you use, what it can and can't do can vary, right? So, first of all, let me just say outright, this should be obvious, but just in case anyone needs me to say this, it is not allowed to use AI generating software to write any of your work for you in this class, because that would be undisclosed element of what was going on that would not be accurately represented, right? I expect you to write your own papers yourselves. However, even using a tool such as Grammarly, that integrates AI technology into the process of proofreading, right? So we can't just completely eliminate these things and say, no, period. But we can say, what are the best practices and what are the ethics that are involved, right? And I'm not going to be answering all of that in this video, but I just want to get you all thinking about your own educations and yourselves as self advocates who set the tone for your future behaviors and practices by what you're doing now, right? So these things are important. You're really in the driver's seat of your own education. So just a few thoughts in case they help you at all with your broader learning goals, which I hope you all think about and reflect upon on a regular basis. And maybe sometimes these things will change. So just some thoughts. I've been thinking about what is the difference between knowledge and information, right? In the society that we live in now, which one is more plentiful, knowledge or information, right? Information is very easy to get, and knowledge involves actually integrating information and processing it through your actual brain, retaining it, and then using it in some way where you'll be communicating with another person, right? Or maybe even just with yourself. So, first of all, okay, I actually used AI before I made this video. So there are ethical ways to use the technology. So I just wanted to use this as an example. I'm sorry, this video is like longer than ever. But what I did was I wrote down a few thoughts, some of them being best practices, ethics, self-advocacy, knowledge, information, mindfulness, and some thoughts. And then I interacted with an AI search engine thing to develop and refine what I was working on, right? And then from there, I actually took that and reduced it back down to a even smaller set of notes that I'm looking at now while I actually speak from my heart. Okay, so this is an example of myself generating content, me using some technology to develop and improve upon that content in a brainstormy type of way, in a way of refining it and looking at it and getting feedback, even though it's from a machine, right? And then I integrated my thoughts and ideas during those processes with each step until I came up with outline that I was happy with and got ready to write my video. So anyway, this is all just to encourage you guys to think about mindfulness, right? The behaviors that you're doing throughout your education are processes, right? And learning is about the process and being in the moment and using your own five senses to think about what's going on here? How are my actions serving or compromising my educational goals, right? And how can I adjust and tweak things to, you know, make my efforts more worthwhile for myself in my educational journey meeting those goals. And also important to think about the types of biases that these search engines have, right? They are not objective. And to also just be always thinking critical questions, such as the ones I've brought up today. Be thinking about your process, checking in with yourself, dealing with your five senses, and thinking about how all of this is affecting both your work as a product and your work as a process to build your knowledge and skills. Okay, so those are my thoughts on AI. I hope it helps you in some way because I know that this is something that we're all thinking about. And if you have any questions on this topic or anything else, just shoot me an email. All right. Okay, thank you. Enjoy the lesson. Talk to you guys later.